hello, and hello to you too, kids. You know, we never say hello to the kids. Don't you think that's a little improper? I mean, they're the ones watching the show after all, and we say goodbye to them every episode. Why
Tommy?
not say hello as well?
What's that?
What's what?
That on top of your head.
Lynette, that's my head.
No, like that, on the top of your head.
My hair?
No, your hat.
Oh, my hat. What about my hat?
Why are you wearing a barbershop hat?
What do you mean? I wear this every day.
I have never seen you wear that hat.
That's because you're not paying attention.
Believe me, you don't need to be paying attention to notice that hat. But speaking of which, why don't we turn our attention to today's story?
Oh, now that was smooth.
Thank you. Now, today's story is from way back at the beginning of the Old Testament, and it's about God's covenant with Abram.
No, of course. I know what a covenant is. I know what it means. But for the millions at home who don't?
Well, a covenant is usually like an agreement between two people, but in this case, it's more of a promise that God made to Abram, and he was one of God's followers.
Ah, I see. And what was this promise?
This promise was that Abram and his wife Sarai were going to be given a huge family, and that all of the people in the world would be blessed through them.
A huge family, you say?
Yep. And God even told Abram to count the stars in the night sky, and that's how many descendants Abram would have.
Wow, I couldn't even begin to count the stars in the sky.
Tommy, we're indoors and it's daytime.
I would squint so as to suggest my great displeasure in what you just said, but alas, I don't know how to squint.
That's all right, Tommy. I can picture it just fine.
Oh, good. Continue.
So, at the time, Abram was 75 years old and Sarai was 65, which is much older than what people usually have children at. But still, Abram believed what God had told him and he trusted in God. Now, years went by, and do you know what happened?
Did they have a kid?
No, they didn't.
But God said they would.
No, what happened was God spoke to him once again and told him that he would be the father of many children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. And do you know what else?
What else?
God said that some of those children, some of those descendants would become kings.
Oh, my.
He even changed Abram's name to Abraham, which means father of many. And he also changed Sarai's name to Sarah. And then 1 year later, when Abraham was 100 years old and Sarah was 90, Sarah gave birth to a baby boy. And do you want to guess what they named him?
Tommy?
No, they named him Isaac.
Ah, well, that was close.
But the point is that even after all of those years, God kept his promise. And you know how God said that the whole world would be blessed through Abraham's family?
Yes, I remember.
God kept that promise because Jesus was born into the family of Abraham. And what this story shows is that even though it doesn't always seem like it, God has a plan and he's always in control and he will never break a promise.
Well, now that's a wonderful story.
I think so too.
Is that it then?
I think so.
All right, we'll see you next time, kids.
Will your hat be making another appearance?
Sorry?
Your hat. Will you be wearing your hat?
What hat?
The hat you're wearing on your head.
Lynette, when have I ever worn a hat? I mean, how many shows have we done by now? And in none of them have I been wearing a hat. Why would I start now, out of the blue? That would break the continuity. That wouldn't make any sense at all, now would it?
Okay. I've had enough.
Don't worry about it here, kids. We're just gonna give her a bit of time to come to her senses.
You are impossible.
We'll see you next time.
We could talk all day, 4 days. Very slowly.
Okay. Very slow. When have I ever worn a hat? Wouldn't you say?
Ugh, I've had enough.
Anyway, as I was saying, gee,
Tommy, I don't think it wants to stay on your head.
That's how that
I
works.
love my lips. Here, I'll prop your mouth back open.
okay.
There you go. Oh, they're recording.